After a 2-year hiatus, the Big Ten Women's Soccer Tournament is back. Hello there and welcome into BTN Soccer Report. Kevin Egan, flanked by Chicago Fire goalkeeping coach Aron Hyde. Lakeside Field on the campus of Northwestern University is the venue, and it all kicks off Wednesday with 4 quarter-final ties. Aaron, this is what it's all about for the players, isn't it?
Absolutely. You know, these games have more emphasis on preparation for the tournament, which is only a week away. So playing in more meaningful games definitely going to help these players in that preparation for the knockout, which is the NCAA tournament.
Well, before we break down the tournament, the Big Ten Conference today announced this season's individual awards. Illinois scooped the Coach, Midfielder and Defender of the Year awards. And no surprise there, as Maya Hayes takes the offensive honours. The Big Ten tournament bracket was announced Sunday evening, and this is how it shapes up. All eyes will be on the Big Ten champions Penn State and their game against host Northwestern, and that kicks off at 4:30 p.m. Central, 5:30 Eastern, and also that crucial game for number 2 Illinois against 7th ranked Ohio State. Well, there'll be some cracking games in the coming days, and we couldn't dare talk about it without bringing in our BTN soccer analyst Kyndra D. St. Aubin. Kyndra, your overall thoughts on the return of the tournament?
I love the return of the Big Ten tournament. I just think it's important for the girls, and I think they like the competition. There's something about wrapping up your season, even if you don't win the championship, with a tournament and kind of wrapping it up in that way. And it also gives the team a chance, to get into the NCAAs if they weren't going to make it otherwise.
Kyndra, looking at the first 4 games kicking off Wednesday tomorrow, what's your game to watch?
My game to watch is Wisconsin against Minnesota. I know it's a 4 against a 5, so you always know it's going to be a close one. But also, during the regular season, they ended in a 2-2 tie, double overtime in Wisconsin. It was kind of a bad weather situation, but it was a battle between these two teams. And, of course, it's kind of a true border battle between these two schools. So mine is Wisconsin against Minnesota.
Great stuff, Aaron. Now, Aaron, there's 4 really interesting games there. What's your game to watch?
Yeah, that's right. For me, Illinois versus Ohio State. Obviously, Illinois, as we've seen, racked up the individual awards. Good run of form of late. And now also, as we move into this game, the one thing that Ohio State do have is that they've got that psychological advantage of maybe of beating Illinois earlier on in the season.
Kyndra, you look at this, it has been a very interesting year in Big Ten women's soccer. You look at the likes of Ohio State are ranked 7th. Who's your dark horse going into the tourney?
My dark horse is going to be Iowa, because I think head coach Ron Rainey really has this team going in the right direction. They actually scored the 3rd most goals in the entire conference behind Penn State and Illinois with 44 in the season. Their last season they had a winning record was 2002. They've never been into the NCAA tournament, so I think they're kind of on a roll here, and they could get things going, and the only way they will make the NCAAs is if they did maybe have a shot here to win the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, Ron Rainey has had a great year with Iowa so far. Aaron, your dark horse?
For me, Michigan State. They finished 3rd overall in the Big Ten, and then I think with the partnership up front that they've got of Olivia Stander and Laura Hayboer, I think anything's possible from Michigan State.
Perfect. Now this is where it gets very, very interesting. It's bracket time. Kyndra, take it away. Lead us on. We're going to put up your bracket, what you gave to us there just a couple of minutes ago, and talk us through your bracket. It's very, very interesting.
Sure. Well, I'm going to start out, obviously, with that Michigan State-Iowa game. I just talked about Ron Rainey. He's got those girls going in the right direction, so I've got Iowa winning that game. In the Illinois-Ohio State, I've got Illinois winning that one. I think that Janet Rayfield, obviously, she was named Coach of the Year for the Big Ten, and they're 2nd in the conference. Then I have Penn State beating Northwestern. Not a big surprise there. Northwestern's really struggled this season. Penn State on a roll. And then Wisconsin beating Minnesota in that border battle. And then the next round, I've got Illinois beating Iowa. That's going to end for Ron Rainey and those girls there, and I really think that Illinois is on a roll, and with Vanessa DiBernardo in the midfield, she's going to kind of control it. And then Penn State will beat Wisconsin, but then lose to Illinois in the final. I think Penn State may rest some of their players because they know they're already heading to the NCAA tournament, so Illinois will win the Big Ten tournament.
Wow, that's great insight, Kyndra. So, Aaron, you look a bit like Paul the Octopus. Why don't you give it a go?
Well, I think as you'll see here from my selections as well, very similar here with Kyndra. I think Michigan State will get through. I think Illinois will overcome Ohio State. Penn State, obviously, great year so far. Minnesota maybe to sneak past Wisconsin. And then, obviously, as we get into the semi-finals here, I think that Penn State will come through against and Illinois as well. But for me, I feel as you get into the into finals, and whether it's the NCAA finals or whether it's a conference tournament, it's all about winning. And we're at that time of the year where losing can be detrimental for confidence, finding a rhythm as a team. And I feel Penn State will be too good to be overcome by Illinois.
That's very interesting from both of you. Thanks very much, Kyndra, for your time, and thanks to you, Aron. Big Ten Network has got you covered for all the tourney action. All 4 quarter-final games are streamed on BTN.com on Wednesday, and we'll bring you the semi-finals and final live on BTN. Now, we'd love to hear your thoughts throughout the tournament, so contact us on Twitter at BTN Soccer Report. Thanks again to Kyndra and Aron. Absolutely brilliant stuff. We'll see you again next time. Enjoy the tournament.